Childhood should be a time of joy, a time of discovery. Sadly, for far too many, it is not. It's a time of fear, pain, and silence. We're talking about child abuse and neglect, and it's an epidemic. These are not isolated incidents. This is happening in homes across America, in every neighborhood, every socio-economic level. We need to talk about it. We need to shine a light on this darkness. The first step in tackling any problem is acknowledging it exists. We cannot allow the whispers of abuse to remain hidden any longer. We need to listen to the children, to hear their stories, to believe them. The statistics are staggering. Millions of children suffer abuse each year, and these are just the reported cases. Think about how many suffer in silence. This is a public health crisis. It demands our attention. We can't afford to look away. We need to understand what we're dealing with. We need to define the problem. Child abuse takes many forms. It's not just physical abuse, the hitting, the slapping, the kicking, it's the emotional abuse too. The constant criticism, the yelling, the name-calling. It's the sexual abuse, the exploitation, the violation, and it's the neglect, the indifference, the abandonment. All of it leaves scars, scars that run deep. Let's talk about physical abuse. It's the easiest to recognize. The bruises, the broken bones, the burns, but the scars go deeper than the skin. It's the fear, the anxiety, the feeling of being unsafe in your own home. The message is clear. You are not safe, you are not loved, you are not worthy. Then there's emotional abuse, the constant barrage of negativity. You're worthless, you're stupid, you'll never amount to anything. These words cut deep. They chip away at a child's self-esteem, leaving them feeling small and insignificant. Sexual abuse is perhaps the most insidious, the betrayal of trust, the violation of innocence. It's a darkness that can haunt a person for a lifetime. The shame, the guilt, the feeling of being dirty and damaged. And then we have neglect, the silent treatment, the lack of basic necessities, food, clothing, shelter, medical care. But it's more than that. It's the lack of love, of attention, of affection. It's the feeling of being invisible, of not mattering. The impact of childhood abuse and neglect doesn't disappear when a child grows up. The scars run deep and can manifest in a multitude of ways. We're talking about long-term physical health problems, heart disease, obesity, diabetes. We're talking about mental health issues, depression, anxiety, PTSD. We're talking about substance abuse, eating disorders, relationship problems. These are not just personal struggles. This is a societal issue. Think about the cost, the healthcare costs, the lost productivity, the strain on the criminal justice system. But let's not forget the human cost, the shattered lives, the broken dreams. These are real people with real stories. Stories of pain, of resilience, of survival. We need to break the cycle of abuse, and that starts with education. We need to educate ourselves about the signs of abuse. We need to educate children about their rights, about how to protect themselves. We need to educate parents about healthy parenting skills, about stress management, about anger management. We need to support victims. We need to create safe spaces for them to share their stories. We need to provide access to counseling, to therapy, to support groups. We need to let them know they are not alone. We need to be their voice. We need to advocate for change. We need to demand better laws, better policies, better services. We need to hold abusers accountable for their actions. Breaking the silence is not easy. It takes courage. But it's the only way to stop the abuse. If you see something, say something. If you're being abused, reach out for help. You are not alone. There is hope. There is healing. Together we can break the cycle of abuse and create a brighter future for our children.